Sorry, Israel.
Sorry about that. Time for Journalists Interactive. And Aisha is here. Hello, Aisha.
Hello, Israel. That was a lovely cough. I like it.
So what is lovely about that?
Yes, it was a lovely cough. You don't know. I'll show you why it's a lovely cough. But you know how to join this conversation is on facebook.com/joynews-on-TV, and on Twitter is on Joy News on TV. Let's have a beautiful conversation. No harsh words. Let's keep it tight. All right, so we start with the minority. The minority has described the first 100 days of the Akufo-Addo-led government as a waste of everybody's time. Once again, they're criticizing the large number of ministers appointed by the president. Question, will the policy direction of government after 100 days, has your impression changed on the large government size?
It hasn't changed my perception because when we look at government, the ministers, we are going to look at allowances, salaries, fuel allowances, and the vehicles that are going to it. And I think it's going to affect the nation great in terms of finance.
It hasn't changed anything as I'm seeing now, and I'm trying to follow up what they can deliver to Ghanaians, because we are here to see good things from them, but we cannot give a conclusion to what they can do. But we hope, we have confidence on them. They can deliver. They should deliver for us to see.
If we look at the quantum of job that is on hand, if more ministers are needed to carry out effectively the job on hand, then to some extent we can justify the number of ministers he's having. But on the other hand, the quantum of ministers may not necessarily determine how effective they will be. When you have ministers who are capable of delivering, the number does not materialize, does not matter. You see, so in conclusion, I would just say that until we give them some few more years or few more months, we cannot definitely conclude.
Not really, because we are yet to see what they have to offer to Ghanaians. So even in the first 100 days, we are not still convinced. We want to see more. Yes. So for me, I am not. I'm still of the fact that the 110 ministers are too much.
All right, those are some comments from the streets of Accra. A lot more of the messages are on Facebook. Israel, let's check it out.
Radoli Chifado says, President Nana Akufo-Addo's historic formation of an elephant government has been vindicated with 103 achievements within 100 days in office. Only Africa can predict, only Allah can predict Ghana's economic status in a year. Change has indeed come. Prince Basal says it is only the NDC that is complaining in the 100 days of NPP government, but we the citizens know no one can use only 100 days to change everything in the country as it is expected from the NDC. Just serious. And Wahab Suini says, I personally don't care about the numbers. What I care about is the value this government will deliver. And I'm confident the NPP will always deliver. And Enoch says, double standard, hoodwinking and impudence NDC party will forever languish in opposition. They dance to Yenti Obiam and call themselves dead goats. They were obstinate and adamant to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. Today, you guys are holding gratuitous press conferences in a bid to mash up political capital. Please tell them Ghanaians are wise now. They should spare our ears with empty cacophony.
And Wisdom Mensa Ablodu says, what happens when you keep employing workers to work on the same plot of land? It reaches a point when some employees do nothing but are paid by the employer. If only all the 110 have duties of value to the country. Kwe Ofori says, it's a shame if you don't have strong opposition to pinpoint, I'm sure, the weak points of the government. And all that they do is to say problems that are being solved by the government. Come on, NDC, come on. And Swalaha, Isahako says, I pity my friends in the NDC. They should give us a break and stop the hypocrisy, because they should wait for 2020 for Ghanaians to judge us. Nana Kwabena Trump says, whether large or small, Ghanaians need results at the end of their mandates. Those are some of your comments on Facebook. Also, today is International Day for Monuments and Sites, and it's celebrated worldwide to promote awareness on the protection, preservation, and sustainability of World Heritage Sites. We are blessed as a country with beautiful monuments and sites, which, if we protect and enhance, will generate a lot of income and more for the country. If you were responsible for promoting tourism and culture in Ghana, which 3 tourist sites will be on top of your list and why?
The zoo, the National Zoo, especially the Accra Zoo, is what is very silent. People do not know that we have even zoo in Accra. We don't know the state of it. People do not even patronize the place. The second one, I think that the castles in Ghana, Cape Coast Castle and Mina Castle, these are the places that actually talk about the struggle of the black man and how the white man came to, enslave them and then took them away, and then the process and everything. Then the third one, I think the butterfly sanctuary around Booty Falls. There are these sites that are not so much known. I like butterflies. They are colorful, and we have varieties of them at that very sanctuary.
I would like to see to the Kintampo waterfalls and perhaps the Paga and the monkey. For one, I know that tourism brings income to the economy, and that if we could, look at it and promote it very well, I think we are going to generate more income than we are even seeing now.
I'll start with Kakum National Park, and I'll go for Paga Crocodile Pond and also the Kintampo Falls. I'll go for the Paga Crocodile Pond because I've not been there personally, but from the pictures I've seen, and pictures are supposed to be beautiful, but the place doesn't look much beautiful to attract me to be at that place. Kakum National Park, I think it's one of the most visited places in Ghana by students and tourists who come to Ghana. So if we develop this place and we have much more interest in it, we are going to get more income from that place.
All right, so that's not all on Facebook. A lot of messages are also pouring in. Let's check it out.
Kwesi Boating Yepa, he's a regular contributor. He says Nzolezu, Kakum National Park, and all castles in Ghana. Travel and see. And Prince Nuruddin says Kakum National Park in Tampo Waterfall, Rabanga Mosque, is because government generates more revenue from these tourist sites. Sells as fun and people learn from these sites. And Dave says Konfanoche Sword Site to teach about the wondrous culture of Africa. Kakum National Park for revenue generation and Mole National Park for revenue generation.
Okay, interesting comments on which of the sites will attract a lot of tourists. Well, so finally, we all heard of the horrible story of an armed robbery attack on the University of Ghana lecturer at her residence at Ashoma in Accra. Narrating her ordeal, she said on sensing danger, she spent 20 minutes trying to get help, but there was no response to the police emergency numbers she called, and unfortunately she was finally assaulted and robbed. Now, the question I ask, what's your biggest fear in the event that there is such attacks? And also share with us your experience if you've ever had any challenge getting the police emergency numbers for help.
I might be raped, and rape comes with a whole lot of complications, emotionally and psychologically. And if I was in at that stage, I wouldn't have known anything to do, because my greatest fear was the fear that I would have been raped by these strong men. And being a lady, I'm vulnerable.
My greatest fear will be losing my life. Yep, that's all. My life is very precious, and I have a lot of plans I would like to achieve. And losing my life now is going to be a loss to me. Not even me. The pain that is going to be transferred to my loved ones, it's just unimaginable.
Death, like the fear of dying. I'll be scared. I'll be thinking about whatever they come to steal from me. But once they're armed, obviously, I'll be thinking, what if they stab me? What if they shoot me? I'm going to die. My life will end. Yes. So that'll be my fear.
Rape, I'm scared. I'll be scared that, hey, would these people for them taking my things, I don't care. But then the aspect of me being raped, I'm thinking that maybe they will rape me and then they will leave me with some sickness or maybe pregnancy, carrying the baby of robbers. No.
My greatest fear will be the fact that I could die, because within 20 minutes they could come back and anything could happen. What if they killed me, or what if I was there when they robbed me? So they trying to get their staffs. As a woman, she said you would be raped, and the worst thing is that she could be killed and no one could have helped her, because I'm sure there was no one around. She could be alone and anything could happen. So I think that our security system should be more tight.
Well, there are interesting comments also on Facebook.
Kwame Batoski says, I think we need to stop blaming our police and rather blame the Ministry of Interior for not creating a uniform emergency line. All Ghana needs is one emergency for all emergency services. Fire is 192, police 191, and ambulance 193. It's too many. Adam Kuma says that this is why he used Panic, a mobile app which allows users to just tap and hold for seconds, and the police will head to he or she's rescue. No long talks. Seriously? Nisenya Joseph, you're actually calling them and you're getting through. Nisenya Joseph says it's good that they didn't respond even to talk of coming. The alarm system alone could have annoyed the robbers to shoot her to death.
Oh.
Jonathan Atta Peter says, we are in a country where systems do not work. These emergency numbers are just there to show that we've national emergency lines, but are not serving their various purposes. In a similar situation, how can you put a pregnant policewoman on duty at a court? She is placed there just because there should be a police person on duty without considering the security aspect. Some Ghanaian institutions need to be serious. They are just wasting taxpayers' money.
All right. And David Kofi says, if they were to be there, it will be the same story as compared to the Kumasi Circuit Court issue. The Delta Force acted wrongly in full glare of the police. Burma Kwabaji from Jinjini says, the biggest fear is when the robbers shoot any of my family chaps or sleep with my woman. They can do anything, but to that extent I alluded to earlier, I would commit suicide after they have left. Zimi Endurance says, in robbery attack, you are calling Ghana police. For what? Just keep quiet and meditate the Lord's Prayer. You won't get them. They are interested at the roadside, one Ghana. Share. Abdurrahman says, so pathetic, Ghana. We have a long way to go. Not police alone. The fire service and the ambulance service have such problems. Sometimes we will call the police and the response is that we don't have vehicle, and if you are lucky and they have the vehicle, then they will tell you that there's no fuel in the vehicle. And Atapoku Clement says same thing. There was a fire outbreak in one of our halls on campus. We tried to call the fire service but no avail, and so we turned into firemen and women ourselves to put out the fire. Bo then he says, oh, but this is real and it's always happening. I suggest there should be a revisit to this our emergency police lines. Call when in danger because it is not serious. KK Boydu says the police service should find out who or which police officers were on duty in the region during that night so that such officers can be questioned to help avoid that situation once and for all. Enoch Kofi says, I wouldn't be surprised if these robbers asked this female lecturer to do blowjob.
Oh no.
That's my biggest fear. Ghana's policing system is porous. And my biggest fear, according to Dogma, says, will be the monster called emergency number that keeps failing in times of emergency. Kelvin Osei says, I don't get it. Why there wasn't a response? Does it mean no one was on duty or what? And Nisenya Joseph says, well, it's sometimes difficult to leave one Ghana at the roadside to go and fight a Ghana at the robbery site. Those are interesting comments. And I believe,
some word actually.
Yeah. And I believe that Ghana police will, yes, I believe the Ghana police will do something about this and reactivate their emergency lines, because a lot of people really, really need help from the police system.